GoPro camera for those down-to-earth trackside images, or a modified cell phone for some other fantastic images? Let's compare the two, and if you're on the budget like I am, then you're looking for any other way to do this. Welcome to Mike's HO Scale, where modeling gets real. Because I'm on a budget, I like to make things myself if I can. So if you're a beginner, or if you've been in it a while, come on along and maybe we can learn some tips and tricks together. So my brother and I have been experimenting with his GoPro 4K Plus camera, which is about $200 to $400, I guess, and some problems with it, getting it through tunnels, and some of the film comes out really good, and you can turn it sideways, comes out good. But then I've tried some things with my camera. So let's take a look at both of those. This is how this GoPro came out.
No? Yeah. You're going to go right into the tunnel. I'll tell you when to stop. Probably problem. Stop when it gets right to here in this next loop.
So as you can see, there were a few problems with it. It's a little wide, so it hits on some of the near objects on my layout, which actually gave kind of a cool effect. It spun the camera around just like you might be turning around to look at a different view, which was kind of interesting. So take a look at another one of those.
It gets up here, I'll straighten it out. You can keep on this side. It hit twice and spun around.
So that was pretty cool, but it's unpredictable. You couldn't plan to make that happen, but it really gave some neat effects.
Right, stay right on. All right, you can do it. Good perspective.
So these had some really cool effects, and I began to notice the wide angle. Could I crop it? How do I get out of the camera's way? Some extra scenery to put in. The lighting was a little glaring. Lots of fun little things to think about as we did this. But there's another interesting little part where it meets another train, now that it's tipped sideways. They came out really well. Might use that somewhere else. I like the low light and the lighting, but let's take a look at what happens when it goes in the tunnel.
You see the tunnel?
So that was pretty cool, but like I said, I'm on a budget. This camera's $300 or $400, so I thought I'd see what I could do with just an old iPhone that I had. So let's take a look at how I did that. It'll be interesting. So I grabbed this old dental mirror that we had and tried to relate it to the iPhone you see there in the background. But the round mirror was a little narrow, so I have to trim off a little of the plastic around it, try to get that out of the frame. Just on some of the testing I did, caused it to show up in the video, and I didn't like that. Trying to get that out of there. So this is one of the ways I did that. So after cutting some of that away, I experimented with it here, see what I would have to do next to get this to mount right. It was pretty cumbersome to work with this. As you can see, it's all out of shape and out of proportion for what I really need, and it's going to be really hard to adjust it into a shape that I want or can use. So I started just by heating it up with a candle, heating up the plastic so I can bend it around. I think it doesn't really bend enough for what I need, and I already ruined the mirror. You can already see a scratch in it if you look really close. While I was cutting the material away, it scratched the glass. It doesn't show up real well in the videos that I take, but it was kind of a bummer anyway. Then I had to split the handle and to make two ways to anchor it to the phone if I could. So I started just by sawing down the center of the handle here just to separate it. And then after that I went back to the candle to separate those two pieces, spread them out and bend them around where I needed in order to get that to sit on the phone the way I wanted it to. The next problem, of course, is going to be anchoring it down to the phone in order for it to stay in one place. But after a number of adjustments and making sure I had the angle right, or right where I wanted it, it turned out okay. But I decided to give it a trial run and let's see what I can do with it. And again, after finding something to anchor it with, getting it lined up with the other thing, making sure it rolls good, and then taping the mirror down itself was a little tricky. So that didn't come out all that well. But you can start to see that the angle is going to be pretty good, or the view is going to be really good. I kind of like that. So now it's time for a couple of trial runs. I like the view. That's pretty cool. And we're going to run it around the track a little bit and see how it goes. As you can see, the angle already is a little better. It's not a wide angle. It's a little narrower, which gives me the ability to use the background better. But there, it's a little wide, and I ended up having to open up some areas of my track so I could get this phone through it. So now the angle is a little messed up, and when it hits something, it doesn't spin around like the GoPro did, which is unfortunate in a way, but at least it's anchored. But again, just getting some things out of the way in order to get the train through was all it took. Needed to be widened out anyway. Some of my other cars were hitting pretty close. I have to take a chunk out of that wall right there as well, so we've got some repair to do too. One of the cool effects of doing it this way is that everything you see in the mirror is backwards. So it's like I have a whole new train set to run around. It throws the orientation off quite a lot, but that's just kind of cool. So this method was okay. I'm not going to stick with it. I've been experimenting with some others. I'm going to show you another one that I just tried to do that I think has come out a little better. So I'm going to play that or show you that one. So this is a shop mirror that I had in my toolbox. I used to look at the back parts of engines or in tiny places. The mirror is oblong and it fits a little better, but again, the idea of trying to anchor it in a place was the hard part. But I did like the perception that you got through the mirror better. You didn't see the edges, and I was able to control it a little better because it's a little bigger mirror. But you can see that there'll be some problems with it here coming up. This Virginia coal car was a little wobbly and sat up too high. Thought it'd bounce around too much. The gondola was a little more solid, but still a little high. So I tried this military flatbed, lower, a little solider, but I chose this one because it was a little springier. I thought it might ride better, but we'll see how it works out. I tested all of them with the camera on it. Here the gondola rode okay, but it was too high. As you can see, I can't even get it through the tunnel here. And you'll see later on why that's going to be important. The military flatbed was low enough, but it didn't ride very well. It didn't stay on the track. It never did. That's probably why I don't use it a whole lot. It derails easily. Anchoring it down wasn't all that hard, just double-side tape. Still a little wide in places, but I was able to take care of that okay. Right there, just went off the track. So like I showed you before, this is the one I chose. It runs really well on the track. I did a lot of work on it, put steel wheels on it, and adjusted the height of the horn hooks and made sure that it stays on the track really well. It's got a little spring loaded to it, so it moves easily, which in a way was a drawback. As you saw on one of them, it kind of swings from side to side, and I don't know, if I slowed it down it would help a lot, but right here I'm just kind of racing around trying to figure out what works right. This is how I shoot my sideways video. Pretty simple really, just to groove in some styrofoam get the camera to sit upright. It's still too tall to go through the tunnels, but that's okay. Gives me the side views that I want, and that will be helpful.
And this is how I shoot my sideways video. That's pretty simple, really. Just a groove and some styrofoam. Get the camera to sit upright. It's still too tall to go through the tunnels, but that's okay. Gives me the side views that I want, and that will be helpful.
So this design seems to work out a little better. Just cut out a cardboard frame, a little hot glue, something to anchor it down with that you saw was too tall. All I have to do is streamline it a little bit and I'll be in pretty good shape. The height has to come down, which won't be hard, but I hope this was entertaining for you. It was fun doing it. And now I have a new method of doing some video that doesn't cost me $200 or $300. Has its advantages and disadvantages, you decide, but I think I'm going to stick with this for a while. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time.